Hi guys, it's Karen with Love Your Land. And this is an exciting day because it's the day I'm going to backfill my tomato seedlings that is. And what I mean by that is normally when we start our little pots of seeds, most of us anyway, fill it all the way up with soil, plant our little seeds in there, sprinkle a little more on top, and then we wait for our plants to come up. The problem with that is that when they get to be about this size, whatever. Look, I have roots dangling. When they get to be about this size, maybe a little bit bigger, then the soil level is all the way up. I don't know why I put that down. The soil level is all the way up to here, and let's say these were up to here, about this tall. Then you have all this exposed stem, and so pretty soon here, if these had been filled all the way up, I would feel compelled to transplant these and bury that stem all the way as deep as possible. And the reason you want to do that is because A, it's going to sturdy your plant up, your seedling up, and also anywhere the root is buried on a tomato, anywhere a root, I say it, every time I talk about this, I make that mistake. Anywhere the stem is buried on a tomato plant, it will grow roots off of it. And that's good, right? You want a nice healthy root system for your plants. So last year, I'm just going to put this here. Last year, one of you gave me the best idea for starting tomatoes or peppers or almost anything that I've ever gotten. And that is, he said, when you fill your little pots up to plant your seeds, don't fill them all the way up with soil. Only fill them up halfway. That way, when they get to be about this size, instead of having to manhandle the poor little things, which I wouldn't transplant these right now, but pretty soon, maybe another week, and I would be wanting to transplant them to again bury those stems deeper. He said only fill them up halfway, and then that way when they get up past the top of the pot, you can backfill them with soil. So now I'm burying the stem, I'm doing the same thing, I'm accomplishing the same thing, except for I don't have to take these little seedlings out and potentially damage the stem, the roots. It's a much gentler approach. So I'm glad that I thought to do this video now, because a lot of you haven't started your tomato seeds yet or your pepper seeds. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you do this. So to recap, when you go to start your seeds, only fill your little pots up halfway. Put your seeds in there, 1 or 2 or 3, whatever you do. Just do it exactly the same. Sprinkle a little soil on top or not, whichever is your belief system there, and keep them moist and just like normal. And then when they get to be about this big, we're going to add a little soil. So what I do, obviously these are really healthy little seedlings, and part of that is because I do add a little bit of trifecta. I definitely don't add, what it says on the back for a mature plant. You shouldn't do that. But for about a gallon of soil, and I have literally a milk jug that I cut the top off of, and that's how I measure a gallon of soil. I put a gallon of soil in here from my supply tub, and then I put about a tablespoon of trifecta and mix it really, really, really well. And I do that even when I'm starting the seeds. If you remember from last year, I told you that I'd always been a firm believer. I took a firm stand on the fact that seeds don't need fertilizer, plant food. I hate saying fertilizer, this is plant food. Seeds do not need plant food to germinate, and that's true. They don't. Everything that they need is contained in that little seed. Everything. Up until about this size. Maybe a little smaller than this. Maybe, once they get their second set of true leaves, then that's when they need food. So by putting it in the soil, especially since I'm not really pouring water into these pots, I'm just spraying with my little sprayer thing, the food never leaches out, and these germinate so quickly because of this little gadget, that food is still in there and available to them. So again, about a gallon of soil, tablespoon of trifecta, that's what I use for my plant food in my little seed starting mix of sterile soil and coir. I've posted on Facebook my little recipe for that if you want to see it. So anyway, there's hammering somewhere, and I can't tell where it's coming from in my neighborhood. It's been happening all morning. So I'm going to take, let's see, take these guys. Okay, they're pretty small. I'm going to bring it up to you and show you actually. See, they're only, there we go. It's only filled up about halfway. You can tell that the soil isn't all the way up to the top. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that. Okay, so all I do, I don't worry about pressing the soil down in these. I mean, I wouldn't really press it down anyway, but I don't really even pat it down because these stems are so small and delicate. If you pinch them or crimp them in any way, your plant's probably gonna die. So I just literally just kind of move the little guys from the leaves out of the way, put a little in there and jiggle it around. You know, it's going to compact when I'm watering, so I can add more once it compacts on its own. Then I can come back and add a little bit more later on. So now those little guys are buried all the way up to their little necks. So they're sturdier, they're being held up by the soil, and now they're going to grow roots all along the stem that has now been buried. So I'm just going to go through and do it to all of them. There's a couple here that are so small, I'm not even going to worry about it yet. They just haven't gotten very big. I don't know why. So they didn't feel like it. That's why. So that's it. So then the other cool thing about this is now that they're sturdied up, when they get just a little bit bigger, these guys are a really nice size. When they get just a little bit bigger, I will take this grow dome, I don't know if you can see it. I'll take this lid off. You can see how much moisture is in there, and it has the little vents, so it does get some air. But I'll take this off, and then I have a fan over there, and so I'll put it on low, an oscillating thing, and that'll start to sturdy them up too, because they have to it gives them a little workout. So I would recommend that you do this, starting now, or the next time you do it. And like I said last year, it's funny that I never thought to do this because burying the stems deep is something that I've always done when I transplant. But for some reason, it never occurred to me to do it from the beginning. I don't know why. I can't explain my thought process. Sometimes there just isn't thought gone into certain things. So that's it. That is your tip for the day. If you have any questions, post a comment below or go over to Facebook and ask me there, and I will answer you. And I'm going to get back to these and get them all backfilled and back under the lights. Talk to you later. Bye.